Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so if you're tuning in, I'm guessing you already know your way around the basics of English grammar. You know how to talk about a single, simple future action, right? But today, we are leveling up. We're taking the future continuous tense and moving way beyond those basic statements. We're going to take what you already know and add some serious sophistication to how you talk about the future. Think about it like this. Describing what you will be doing is great, but hey, communication is a two-way street. You might be able to describe the future perfectly based on our beginner lessons, but can you actually ask someone else about it? It's time to build out that communication toolbox one block at a time so you can actually engage in rich, dynamic conversations about tomorrow, next week, or even next year.
Level 1. Asking future questions. Let's jump right in.
So, we're going to look at the mechanical swap you need to make to turn a simple statement into a question. Honestly, think of sentence structure kind of like a basic math equation. To ask a yes or no question in the future continuous tense, you really don't need to overthink it. Just follow this exact step-by-step formula. First, start with the word will. Second, add your subject, your you, he, she, or they. And finally, third, plug in be plus your verb with an ing at the end. Bam, that's the entire formula.
Let's actually see that formula in action. Take a look at this statement. You will be working late. It's just a standard fact, right? But by taking that word will and bumping it to the very beginning of the sentence, right before the subject you effortlessly flip the script. Suddenly you've got your question. Will you be working late? It's literally just a tiny physical shift in the sentence, but it completely changes its function. And this brilliantly illustrates how that exact same formula applies perfectly across totally different subjects to instantly form a question. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you're talking about you, I, or she. She will be joining us just magically transforms into will she be joining us. It's that simple. Once you master this quick little inversion, asking about future plans is going to become completely second nature to you.
Level 2, the going to alternative.
Let's build up your conversational flexibility a bit more with our next tool. Just like with the simple future tense, you are definitely not locked into using will be all the time. You can absolutely substitute it with am, is, or are going to be. So, at 8 p.m., I will be watching TV carries the exact same meaning as at 8 p.m., I am going to be watching TV. Both clearly describe an action in progress, probably binge watching a great new show, let's be real. And honestly, the best part? You can even apply this to the question format we literally just learned about. Instead of asking, will you be waiting for me? You can just as accurately ask, are you going to be waiting for me? It just gives you another excellent, perfectly correct way to ask about future plans, adding some really nice variety to your everyday speech. Now here is some highly practical stylistic advice for you. While both phrases are grammatically correct and mean the exact same thing, using will be is actually way more common for native speakers. Why? Well, because it simply sounds smoother and a lot faster in everyday conversation. Am going to be can sometimes feel, a bit clunky or overly long when you're just chatting casually. So while it's absolutely vital to understand both, will be is usually going to be your best friend. Level 3, time collisions or interrupted actions. Okay, get ready because for our final and definitely most complex level up, we're going to combine two completely different tenses. Because, in real life, things rarely happen in total isolation. Usually one thing happens while another thing is already going on. We use the future continuous to show exactly this, a longer event that will be happening in the future, which suddenly gets interrupted by a shorter, much quicker action. It just allows you to tell a much richer, more detailed story about how events overlap. So, the absolutely crucial point here, and I want you to literally treat this rule like a giant flashing caution sign, is the tense of that interrupting action. The longer action uses the future tense, but the shorter, interrupting action absolutely must be in the present simple tense. Seriously, do not use the future tense for the interruption. This is the exact spot where so many intermediate speakers trip up. Let's actually compare these side by side so you can see what I mean. If you're talking about a train arriving in the future to interrupt your waiting, your brain might logically want to say when your train will arrive, but grammatically, that is incorrect. We drop the will for the interrupting action entirely. The correct phrasing strictly uses the present simple, making it when your train arrives. Putting it all together creates this really complete picture. I will be waiting for you when your train arrives. See how beautifully these two tenses work together there? The longer action, the waiting, stretches out using the future continuous. I will be waiting.
Meanwhile, the quick, momentary arrival of the train correctly anchors the timeline using the present simple, when your train arrives.
Here is another perfect example to really lock this in for you. When you get home tonight, I will be cooking dinner. Notice how the order of the sentence doesn't change the rule at all? The present simple interruption, get home, happens smack in the middle of a continuous, ongoing future action, cooking dinner. The long action is in the future continuous, the short action is in the present simple. It perfectly paints the picture of two time frames colliding.
To wrap up this explainer, let's just take a quick look at your brand new, upgraded grammar toolbox. You now know how to ask direct future questions, you can smoothly swap in the going to be alternative, and you've completely mastered painting a picture with future time collisions. So I want to leave you with a challenge right now. Use everything you just learned and answer this real-world scenario for me. When you get home tonight, what will you be doing? Think about how to construct your sentence, and I'll catch you in the next explainer. Keep learning.